Welcome back yet to another episode of Idea to Income, where we are speaking today mainly on the two S's, and I'm stressing on that, which is to start and support. And where does Eastern Credit Union step in to this mold? We're going to show you how you could actually start your business and get the support from Eastern, and also those of you who already have a business up and running, but you don't have the support. You still have some tweaking to do. Eastern Credit Union is here definitely to deliver for you. Now today we'll be discussing more on MSME, micro, small, and medium enterprise unit. And with us, we have our business development officer here with us, which is Greg Mack, to tell us a little bit more about this unit and how this unit will really work to help persons to jumpstart their business and also the persons who already have their business for support. The two S's we're using today, start and support, which is very important. Welcome.
Absolutely, Whitney. That's what we are about. Pleasant good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
And to our wonderful viewers, pleasant good morning to you as well.
So let us know a little bit more about this unit, MSME. Let's start with the micro. Where does that come in to play in this unit?
Well, basically, micro, small, and medium pertains to the different sizes of the business unit, right? All of them will sort of fall under one particular category, because outside of that is large conglomerates and stuff like that. So for simplicity in terms of distinguishing between different business sizes, we saw it fit to now pool together micro, small, and medium enterprises. Now, Eastern Credit Union saw it fit for such a unit to be given birth to out of the growing need from our members. Particularly those entrepreneurs who needed access to cash to start their own businesses, as well as those who were seeking some level of financial advice. We had in the past, prior to the establishment of the unit, persons who were desirous of loans, and we didn't have the facility, that loan product that is, to facilitate them. That hurt us. In addition to that, we had members who were now using some of their business funds and passing it through their personal account.
Which is wrong.
Which is wrong. Only for them to now come for a loan to be informed that, that is commingling of funds. So we saw it necessary to create a unit that acts as a support platform for these entrepreneurs. Whereas we take them by their hand and escort them through their various business journeys. So it's out of the need.
Okay, so let's start with persons who are able to qualify for because when you hear loan and support, I could start my business, and it's any type of business you could really start. But where do we begin where persons are able to qualify? Because if I want, let's say, I want to start a shoe business, and I want to bring in shoes and have a storefront, even if not a storefront, online, am I able and possibly be in the position to qualify for this loan?
So, Whitney, that's a very good question, because from the get-go, depending on your financial position, you could qualify on the spot, right? Because as with commercial loans, it's just as with every other loans, which is subjected to normal lending criteria. So we'll create two scenarios. The first scenario being that you are permanently employed with a reputable organization. You have been with the organization for a number of years. You have a good credit history as well. And your DSR, which is your debt service ratio, is not that high. At that point in time, you could qualify for a loan facility. The question is how much you could qualify for.
Question, just put a pin in it quickly, because I think persons need to understand how high is your debt service ratio is considered high in a financial institution?
Well, the standard level, the standard rate is that of 40%.
Okay.
The reason I mean 40% is that we do not want to create a case whereby all 50%, 55% of your gross salary is being that for loan installments. How would you live?
Survive, correct.
Quite right. So in scenario one, you could qualify for a loan facility. All right. However, our next scenario is that if you're not working nowhere at this point in time, and you come to get some form of credit for your business, at that point in time, you will do two things. One, recommend a suitable co-maker for you. That person will be the one who is financially responsible for servicing the facility.
Okay.
Or we could tell you, here's what, even though you want to access the cash now, these are some of the things that you need to do to put yourself in a more favorable position in the near future. So, number one, you could find some sort of job that will be able to sustain you, and based on the amount in regards to your salary will determine how much you could qualify for in a loan. So it's not an outright no that you get on the spot. Yeah. If you get a yes, you get a yes. If you get a no, it's not a no, but
it's a maybe.
Well, I wouldn't say a maybe, but we tell you, here's what. At this point in time, you cannot qualify for a loan facility, but here's what you need to do in order to qualify for one in the near future.
But if I have a dream, like I really want to start this business, I am not working, let's say 8 to 4, I have a part-time job that is there, but all I need is a start, a financial start. If a person comes with a proper plan to show you all, would you take that risk?
Well, again, it depends on the loan amount. So, for example, you did mention that you was working part-time. Part-time means to say you may not be working for a full salary. So let's say, for example, you could be working maybe $2,500 a month or $3,000 a month, right? The dream business that you may have may not be a big, expensive, elaborate business that you may want to establish. It could be doing simple things as doing someone's nails, doing hairstyle and stuff like that. What we do, we now break down that massive dream that you want to have into small, biteable objectives, and we take it step by step. So, for example, if it is you want to open up a business to do painting of nails and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, say that. You could be like a nail tech. That's like
a nail tech.
Basic.
So you want to have your own commercial space. You want to have your own equipment. However, what we will do at that point in time is say, here's what, we may not be able to qualify for that large amount to cover rental space and all of these things. You should be able to get enough money to now at least buy some of the equipment to actually start. And you start on that level and you grow. Once we see that the business is indeed have some sort of potential and it is sustainable in terms of there's a frequent flow of traffic or customers, then we could now consider extending additional credit for you.
That sounds more like it.
Oh, that's what you want to hear?
Yes, that is what I wanted to hear, exactly.
Someone feel is not a no person.
No, I'm not a no person. I don't like to hear no, but I mean in life you will, but that is just for you to, realistically speaking.
Yes.
That you have to fix certain things. It wouldn't just, you can't just show up and say, listen, trust me, I could do nails really well.
Yes.
So loan me this money.
Yes,
it has to. You have to show something, and I'm sure you'll have to show the cost of the equipment. It's not they're just going to give you. I'm just saying to start a business for nails could be between 5 and 10,000, and just randomly calling a figure.
Right.
And if that is something, if that is something that could work, and you're showing that the equipment is one that is valued to that, it will also give you an incentive to, as in the institution, to help this individual, because they are actually showing a plan, right?
Quite right. And Whitney, what we also do too is that there are also members in our membership who are existing nail technicians, and we could consult with them. For some further guidance in terms of, how could this person start given their position, and two things could happen. We could get information and then convey it on to the member, or we could simply put that member on to that technician for further guidance.
Now, we started with the first S, which was to starting a business, and where the unit steps in. But what about persons who may have a business that is already established, but they're having problems to turn a profit, and they're trying to make things work, but they don't have the other S, which is the support?
Quite right. So most instances, those individuals will fall under financial advice. And usually the problem is working capital issues, whereas their expenses is more than the income they're generating. Even though they have mastered the craft. For example, somebody who does hair, a barber, they would have mastered the craft. However, there are certain expenses which is critical that they need to finance, which they do, but at the end of the day, they still don't find themselves going forward. There lies the needs for financial advice. So what we do, we go through in detail what are their minute expenses. detail. We start from the minimum amount up to the larger amount. And oftentimes, rental income does be the large chunk.
Yeah.
Also, there may be certain products that they will use that they may have to consider finding a cheaper alternative. Like, for example, a majority of barbers, as even nail techs, well, ladies are more aware. There are cheaper companies that will offer the same quality of products, therefore allowing you to cut costs. When costs is cut now, it gives you that disposable income to help you now continue to move your business smoothly. So it's just about breaking down the business in terms of its activities, what are the costs, and how best we could find a cheaper alternatives for those costs.
Yeah, because the last episode we spoke about persons, not something as simple as writing down your expenses and breaking down your business by pen to paper. That could help in a major way to see what is happening with your business. And this is a strategy that could also be used here as well moving forward with the unit.
Quite right. Given the nature, majority of our business, even though it's MSME, majority of the business are sole trader, whereby you are the one responsible for running the business as well as doing the administrative work of the business at the same time. Oftentimes, when you engage in your work, you don't have that sufficient time to do whatever administrative work. So you may not be aware in terms of the details, in terms of costing and all of these things. You just simply go in, a customer comes in, you do the hair, you do the nails, and you may not necessarily find the time to explore cheaper alternatives and stuff like that. With regards to proper record keeping, as what you would have said, writing down the information on a book. That is a good practice too as well. However, we try to let our members keep up with the times. So there are different platforms in which they could easily input the information to help them keep proper record of their sales and expenses, as opposed to the old time ways in terms of writing on stuff. Softwares can now indicate to them, here's what, these are the areas where your expenses are actually surpassing your revenue. And then you can narrow down on what are the issues in your business.
Less stressful calculations moving faster.
Yes.
AI is clearly in the mix of everything.
Yes, but we don't want ChatGPT to know too much.
I know, right?
Quite right.
Because it will then sell your ideas to me, to others, because everybody could be researching, let's say, barbering and the products.
Yes. In as much as technology, as human beings, we don't want our members or entrepreneurs to become too relaxed, too dependent.
And lazy in the brain.
Yes, we always want them to be forward thinking, because that is indeed what pushes the change in the man of human beings. We don't stay stagnant. We might pop up with something, and as an entrepreneur, you must always be in the go, always be in the forefront of whatever trend at the point in time.
Yes, being in the know. And this is something that we want our viewers, also listeners, to understand as well. With Eastern Credit Union is being in the know and what the unit is there for, to really assist individuals.
So it's critical to add, Whitney, that at this point in time, Eastern Credit Union do not have their own business account facility for members because of the anatomy of the credit union. However, we do provide detailed information as to how do you go about in terms of the various financial institutions in opening up a business account. So even though the business account won't be held by us, we will still act in a form of providing with the information step by step. How do you go about getting one?
So what are the other products and services that the unit provides?
So the unit provides services and products particularly to entrepreneurs who are interested in opening up an account, as well as those who have an existing account. So services, some of the popular services entails financial advice, which is highly critical.
Number one.
Yeah, it's number one.
Yes,
we sit down individually or personally with that entrepreneur and try to put ourselves in that person's shoes to now see what is their goals and aspiration for the business, not just now, but the next 5 years to come. The objective of such is to see how best we can narrow the gap from where they are and where they need to be. So we discuss basic things such as budgeting, marketing, financial statements, such as cash flow, forecasts, balance sheet, etc. Right? So it's a one-on-one conversation, in-depth, that we have with the entrepreneur. The second popular service we have are webinars and seminars, whereby we incorporate or recruit leading lecturers in respective fields of businesses these entrepreneurs want to get into. So the objective is that our entrepreneurs could benefit from some of the real-time policies and procedures that are now mandated in the various sectors or various industries. even though the anatomy of those activities are collective in nature, collective meaning that it's a group of us, you still do get that individual attention through our break-off sessions where you can speak one-on-one with our lecturers. So if you are a potential entrepreneur to go into business, you can inquire from them there and then, what are the potential challenges I could incur? Or if you're already in that industry, you could also interface with them to find out, I'm going through a particular challenge in this area, and what do you recommend based on your experience? So at the end of the day, you still benefit from that personalized touch.
Yes, that is something that I think many people will need access to.
Quite right. And in terms of our products, we do have what is called our startup loan facility. And as the name implies, it caters for those who want to start a business.
Start a business, obviously.
You could start off with a minimum of $75,000 and go up to a max of $200,000. Right? And that's a lot. But it gets better in terms of, don't get no ideas with me.
I want to start a business. I really want to start a business.
Remember, loans are subjected to normal lending criteria.
That's fine.
That's very good.
I'll follow suit.
We also have our growth loan facility, and those are for members who have an existing business.
Okay.
Similarly, it starts off at $75,000. However, it goes up to $1.5 million.
Which makes sense because you have an established business.
Quite right.
Already.
And, that's close to $2 million.
Yes.
If you're using that funds effectively, think about the number of things you could do. You could organize more working capital. You could organize additional equipment, vehicles, uniforms, logos, even put aside money for a rainy day. At Eastern, you could even prepay a loan. Yeah, you could prepay a loan for 6 months to a year. So you don't need to be burdened with that monthly commitment, especially if you engage in heavy level of operation in your work. So that's good. Apart from that, our next popular one is our commercial auto loans. We have a lot of maxis on the road, a lot of taxis on the road, a lot of persons willing to engage in delivery services. They can all come to us and benefit from such a loan.
Listen to me. I love this unit.
Quite right.
I love it.
We are here for you, Whitney. Quite
yes,
right.
and I am actually a member of Eastern Credit Union. I can't say a customer because I'm a member.
Of course.
Yeah,
you have rights, huh?
Yes.
Good,
but I'm finding out more info on this myself personally, like our viewers, and I am definitely interested. I think it can motivate you to start something. I think everyone should have some sort of entrepreneurial, drive or bug in them that could start something because one income is not enough.
Yes, this
especially in 2025. We need more than one.
Quite right.
So before we wrap things up, could you tell us like a success story that you have encountered with some of your members?
Of course. Before that, Whitney, just as how you are highly excited, to come to us, I would like to believe our viewers share the same sentiments. So I just want to let them know, if you are interested, feel free to liaise with us directly through our 9 branches. Also, you can find us online through our website, www.ecunewexperience.com. Right? In terms of that wonderful success story you was telling me about, Whitney, I know I cannot disclose the individual name.
No, you can't. Don't do that.
So there's a young guy, very forward-thinking, who would have came to the unit late last year. I believe he started a course in AC and refrigeration. So he has his full-time job, so he just wanted to come to see where he stands in terms of qualifying for a commercial loan. So in the process of doing the loan assessment with him, the repayment period was good, installment for him was good. In other words, he could have qualified. Right? I told him there and then, here's what. While you're studying for the degree in that particular field, why don't align yourself with 1 or 2 AC technicians so you could get that kind of real on-the-job training experience? Because oftentimes when we are studying something, it's often within a controlled environment. And when you go out in the real world, you realize
it's like a shock factor. Like, what is this?
Completely different story.
Yes.
So he listened and everything. However, fast forward to now, earlier this year, he finished the course. So he now come to get a loan. So he would have submitted his normal job letter, everything from his normal existing full-time job. However, he put forward a cash flow forecast, and he would have put forward a list of existing clients he had. I said, well, how come you're now starting a business and have existing clients? And he said, well, remember you told me last year to work alongside, so on, so on.
Yes,
so
and he got a clientele.
quite. So what he did, he would have encountered or dealt with personal friends and families, who would have given him the opportunity to service the AC, repair his AAC. And so he was able to develop, and not big, but a clientele to some extent.
Great.
And I found that to be very amazing. As a matter of fact, I count that as success there and then, because he then had was to get the commercial loan then to start. He already started. It's just a matter of now getting money for his own
support.
Tools. Yeah, so he's able to buy a CNG station wagon, because he had to go all over the place, cutting costs.
Yes.
He got his tools and equipment and stuff like that, so he was able to go.
And he's successful.
Quite right. So we are
he's paying back.
Yes, he's paying back.
And saving.
And saving.
Let's stress on those two, because that's how the credit union works.
Our loans is that, while servicing a loan, we ask you to pay for 100 or 200 to your shares. So the principle is while the loan is going on, your shares is actually building. Yeah. So the unit is actually waiting for him to come in the near future, not to come for a startup loan now, but for a growth loan facility.
The 1.2. 1.2.
5, my dear.
I was still on 1.5.
You have 1.2 in your mind, but
yes.
no problem. It's actually 1.5. But that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Listen, I'd like to thank you so much, Greg, being here with us, representing Eastern Credit Union and giving us more insight on the MSME unit. And I hope persons are able to take in as much like a sponge information as possible, because this is actually going to be your start. Remember the two S's, start and support. Those two S's are very important with Eastern Credit Union, and they are here to serve you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Whitney. Thanks for having me, and to our wonderful viewers, thank you for having me as well. Do have a blessed day.
And that's it for today's episode. I'm hoping that you're able to learn so much like I did. Now, for further information, feel free to email us at ideatoincome@easterncutt.com. And also follow us on our social media platforms on Facebook and Instagram at Eastern Credit Union. And you could also check us out on our website at ecunewexperience.com for more. Until next time, see you around. It's all about Idea to Income. God bless.